Hey everybody, Brad the Italian here, and today we're going to be reading some Reddit posts from r/dogtraining. Our first post comes from Brybop, and I hope I am saying that correctly. They're talking about separation anxiety, and their comment goes like this. I brought home my dog between 2 to 3 weeks ago. Since this time, I've learned he has severe separation anxiety. Last owner was a stay-at-home mom, so she genuinely never noticed. But we don't know what happened in his first home. He turned 2 a month ago and was never fixed. We have that scheduled for later this month. However, the separation anxiety has become increasingly worse. He turned 2 a month ago and was never fixed. We have that scheduled for later this month. However, the separation anxiety has become increasingly worse the past few weeks when I leave him alone. Even if I leave him alone for about 30 minutes, I will come back to accidents on the floor, and yesterday I was going somewhere with him and got so anxious about seeing me put my shoes and grab my purse that he started to hyperventilate and pooped on the floor. I already got him the adaptable clip for his collar, obviously not working, and a thunder shirt, also hasn't helped. We have also been using Paw Balm with lavender, which does chill him out during the day, but not help with the anxiety. I ordered calming chews, but I'm not sure where else to go. I'm thinking we are at the point of needing medication to get him relaxed enough to even start training. I want to leave the house again. Any advice? So, we have an entire video going over separation anxiety, what to do, how to start the training process, and you don't really need any kind of medication to start that training. The dog should be totally fine with you leaving the door for 2 to 3 seconds in order for you to come back in. It's true, they might be at the point where they're going to hyperventilate and go crazy and just be super anxious about you leaving, but it's a process that you can work through. If it's working, such as the calming chews, which I don't think you've used yet, you just ordered them, or the lavender paw balm, use those things as well before doing the training from the video that I presented. In this particular case, I don't think him being fixed is going to change anything really. It's not really going to lower or change his mood or stop the hyperactivity. It's just going to help him later on with other things. But as far as the separation anxiety goes, I'm going to set a link in one of the top thingy, and I'm going to put a link in the description below. And I highly recommend that you go check out that video. It should work with a case like this. You got to give him time to work with it. Post comes from Knudge and they are asking a very intimate question. My dog eats his own poop. So how do we stop this? We have to walk behind our dog outside with a poop bag and pick it up, or he eats it. Sometimes he eats it as it's coming out. Only his own. He doesn't eat our other dogs. He goes after it like it's a delicacy. He's definitely being fed enough food. He'll be a year in April, so he's still a puppy. Shouldn't he catch on from us picking it up? It's not good. Someone told me pumpkin in his food would make him stop, and it did not. I am sorry for laughing my way through that comment. I understand how extraordinarily frustrating this could be, but if no one's told you about this yet, there is something called coprophagia pills, and what they do, or coprophagia chews, and you feed it to the dog that your dog is eating the poop of, and because it's his own poop, you will feed it to him, and it will stop him from wanting to eat his own poop or wanting to eat that poop. It's a very common thing that dogs go through. Again, it's called coprophagia. Post a link to the pills down below and up in the thing. Don't worry. Again, it's completely and totally natural. The pumpkin may have made the poop more enticing, to be completely honest. In conclusion, you want to use the coprophagia pills. You might also want to work with training called Leave It. It will help with behaviors that you don't want them to go after. So things like you don't want them to go after the poop, you don't want them to go after toys that aren't theirs, like your kids' toys or something like that. So Leave It and coprophagia pills, or coprophagia chews. I'm sorry, I keep saying pills. Let's move on to the next comment. That one was pretty easy. This is from Plasma God. My dog misbehaves with others if I'm not in the room. Please help. To set an example, he ripped apart my nephew's blanket today. I got reports the whole day that he was biting them, but the thing is that I had been sleeping in that room with him inside and hadn't done anything until today, that I spent the whole day out of the room. He didn't care there were people in the room with him. He did it specifically when I wasn't in the room. It's not the first time this happened. Please help. So, very short answer is this is separation anxiety. It's just separation anxiety with you specifically. So we already talked about earlier in this video that I have a video that talks about separation anxiety, and I would go watch that video to help solve this problem. As for an answer here and now, again, it's going to take the whole video to go over all the steps for separation anxiety, and I would just do that with them. I think this one will be pretty easy to fix. They're just responding out of the anxiety from being separated from you. Our last comment today comes from Telepatia. My dog hates that one dog. Today she attacked it and I feel awful. Our dog is an 11-month-old Shiba Inu, and it's my first dog. I've been doing all the training, and at home she's usually very good, except for a little mischief sometimes. But when going outside, we are working on multiple things, the most important being focused and calm. When she sees another dog, she lays down and waits for them to come say hi. She just loves other dogs, but she can be a bit rude about it. She had a problem with the younger puppies a few months ago, but we discovered that mostly happened when leashed, and we worked on it. Recently, they opened a dog area in our park, and our girl has been loving it there. But we mostly avoid it because she would get very anxious about going inside, and she is small enough to fit through under the fence, and if there's something out more interesting, she escapes. Today I started training with her as soon as we reached the park, and she was not very focused. We walked for a while, and I spotted some of her best friends inside the dog area, so I went inside and waited for her to calm down before letting her off leash. She started playing with all the dogs, but they spotted this one dog, a puppy whom she growled in the past when walking leashed. She immediately fixated on that dog and started attacking it. I ran and I leashed her. None of them were injured, but the owner started yelling at me that my dog is very aggressive and I shouldn't be there. I started to explain that she's very friendly, and I just apologized and left. I feel so bad, and I feel like a failure because that lady is right. I should have known better that it wasn't the right time, and now I feel helpless. What can I do? I cannot afford professional help right now. So let me start off by saying I'm very sorry that you went through that experience. That is awful. It's awful whenever you have your dog jump at anything or lunge at somebody or lunge at another dog. It's one of the worst feelings as an owner you could possibly have. But it's going to be okay. You just need to work with your dog. They're 11 months old now, and they're about to reach full doghood. They're still in that puppy stage. You know, they're not fully an adult until I'd say a full year. So you've got one more month left. But anything could have happened. We talked earlier about bite thresholds. So it could just simply be too much was going on at the time. Too many stimuluses all at once, and they surpass their bite threshold. That's possible. It's even possible that the Shiba Inu has something called leash aggression, and just remembers being aggressive towards that dog while on leash. It could even just simply be they don't like that dog. Just that one. You know, that dog growled at them or barked at them, and because the other owners weren't paying attention, nobody ever realized that something happened between those two dogs, that they just didn't like each other. And so the response is carried over to this. Now, I did also work with this behavior in a previous video, actually in my very first video. I talked about how to get your dog comfortable with other objects, people, or even in this case, a dog. You would have to start at a comfortable distance where your dog can see the other dog, yet still be comfortable enough to sit and lay down and listen to you and pay attention to you. You're increasing their threshold to deal with that stimulus. That's what really dog training is all about. We're increasing their thresholds to the different stimuluses that are going to happen in the world. This is one of them. So, in order to work with this, you just need to slowly do as what the first video said. And what I would recommend is I would recommend that you get a muzzle. And I know it sounds awful to say get a muzzle for your dog, but it's really for the safety of everybody else and for your dog also to have a muzzle on. It's just safer if you know that this behavior will happen if they see that dog, have them in a muzzle. And I would actually recommend talking to the other pet parents and saying, hey, I want to try this one method of training. Do you mind if I do this with your dog? You know, and tell them to stay far away to see what the distance is where the dogs will actually react to each other, and have them work with their dog too. Have them do sit and down and make it an actual like fun event for both of you to go through and make it social, you know. I don't think your Shiba Inu is evil or bad or is forever going to be aggressive and selective of what dogs they want to be around. Something happened. They don't something happened between those two dogs. You know, you don't have to have your dog on leash 100% of the time. If you go to these dog parks, you can take your Shiba Inu off the leash. It's just you have to work with this specific training style in order to get them to be relaxed with all types of dogs. So start far away, get them to sit, get them to lay down, treat them, get them a little closer, sit, lay down, treat a little bit closer, and have them in a muzzle the entire time they're doing it, just for everybody's safety. And eventually, they'll be super friendly with that dog as well, because you're positively reinforcing the idea that that dog is good. Alright, but that's it for these Reddit posts. I hope this helped out some of you. Thank you very much. I'll be posting again next week. I'll see you all real soon.